Welcome to my humble abode. My name is Dr. Nchiewe Ani. I'm a CM reporter and I'm also a master's student in public health at the Central Michigan University. To mark the African Heritage Week, the multicultural newsletter decided to take us on a journey to Africa. Today, we will be cooking one of the most popular dishes in the Niger Delta region of Nigeria, specifically one of the dishes that the Calabar people are known of. Calabar is one of the most beautiful cities in Nigeria. It is the capital of one of the 36 states, Cross River State, and the good people of Calabar are known for their delicious, sumptuous delicacies. And one of it is the Afang Soup. The Afang Soup is one of, it's made up mostly of vegetables, protein, and then it is consumed with starch or carbohydrate. It is actually a balanced meal. What do we need for production or for the making of Afang Soup? Before we talk about what we will use to the constituents of the Afang Soup, I want to make you know that Afang itself, it's high fiber. This is what it looks like. It's green vegetable, high fiber, and then we have the water leaf. I don't have water leaf over here, so I use spinach. So we use spinach as the leafy component of this meal. You would use protein, different protein source. I have cow hoof and cow skin. We have the tripe, and then we have goat meat, which is a protein source, animal protein. We also have seafood also. This is dried fish, stockfish, shrimps, and snails. We also have what we call the periwinkle. It's very rich in micronutrients, especially zinc, magnesium, and iron. Usually if women are pregnant, you encourage them to eat these classes of food. It will enable you build the level of blood and help correct anemia. So it's a balanced meal. We will also use what we call, it's crayfish, which is the dried and blended form of the shrimps. And we will use all forms of pepper. Here I'm using the sweet chili pepper and the habanero pepper. A little bit spicy. And last but not the least, we're going to add palm oil to it. As my seasoning today, I'm going to use Maggi, Star Maggi. You can use any one you know, or even the bouillon, or whichever one you have, but this is what I have. And then we'll put the soup together to cap it all, and the food will be served, or the dish will be served with Garri today. So without much ado, come with me to the kitchen. Let's assemble the meal. Thank you. Okay, so I'm ready to assemble the soup now. I will start with the protein sauce. Assemble them all together in one pot. Don't worry. I separated them this way so that I could show you the various components of this very rich, delicacy. Okay, that's that. What I will do next is to add my pepper sauce, my blended pepper to it. So I'm going to blend my pepper. Contrary to what you see on the internet, the traditional Afang soup does not contain onions. The owners of Afang soup, my ancestors, my mothers, do not put onions in their Afang soup. The peppers, the various flavors from the different types of peppers will give the Afang soup the beautiful taste and smell that you require. So I think we are good to go now. That's it. I will pour it into my pot. I will on my gas. I think that's for, and then I'll allow the pepper to cook with that. I like to steam. Once it has steamed, I will add my palm oil to it and then Before then, once it steams, I will add my palm oil to it and add the seafood last because I don't want them to scatter entirely. I want you to be able to still pick them up from the meal. So while that is steaming, we're going to have to cut the rest of the water leaf. Okay, so there's no water leaf. This afang leaf is combined with water leaf to give that rich fiber content and also to give the rich multivitamin content. The water leaf is rich in vitamin A and carotenoids. So we're going to dice the rest of it and add to the afang. I already started a little, so this is what is left. So we use water leaf back home in Nigeria, but if you're overseas and you do not have water leaf, you can use spinach, baby spinach, whole grown spinach. You can use that. And if you don't have spinach, what I found out that you could use tulips or there's this other leaf, I think it's college. You can use college too to still come out. Mix it with your afang. I think this is ready now. We'll just add it to the bowl. I'm trying to melt my oil. You know, we're in winter, so the oil is frozen. So I just turned my tap towards the bottle of oil to melt it. Crayfish and palm oil are the most essential part of the Afang soup, as we would see in time. So that's the rest of it. Rinse this immediately. Like I said, the Afang soup is a balanced meal. We have vegetables, green leafy vegetables give us multivitamins, vitamin A. We also have meat. Meat is protein source. We have shrimps, gives us multivitamins. We have periwinkles, give us trace elements. And then the peppers itself. Peppers, we also know chili peppers are rich in multivitamins too. So it's a balanced meal. And then palm oil too also contains vitamin A. So pregnant women, children, adults, old people can eat this meal and they will derive absolute nutritional value from eating the Afang dish. Okay, so we had already started. As you can see, the peppers boiling very nicely with the meat. So I'm going to add stockfish to it because I want the flavor to be intense. And then part of my fish. I don't want this one, I'll add that one last. And then I'll add a little bit of my stock and allow it to cook. Afang soup itself does not require lots of water, but because I want all the ingredients to come together, I want it to cook for a while. I will add a little bit of Maggi, which is my seasoning. I think 2 or 3 or at most 4 of that would be okay for the soup. Okay. Allow it to cook, simmer for a while. I will add oil to it, allow it to cook, and then add the dry crayfish. I will put my fish last because usually you like to serve then I will add the dry crayfish. The fish and the periwinkle. So I'm adding the dried crayfish. You need lots of it. Our soup is almost ready. I will not add palm oil to it, so this palm oil, we'll have to shake it. Because of the winter, it's caked. This is it. It's cholesterol free, yeah? You can get most of these things from the African store in Lansing, in Detroit. I think there's one here in, 1 minute. I can approximate like how many. No helping, I'll have to squeeze. Okay. We'll just wait and see how much that went in. Almost there. And then we need more crayfish. Soup is almost ready. The last thing will be the vegetable. I still have shrimps to put in. I will need to taste to see if there is enough salt. If I don't need to add Maggi or pepper to it. I prefer the wooden spoon. I met my grandmom using wooden spoon to cook, you know. We need 1 or 2 more cubes of Maggi. I prefer to crush them in the plate before. I think that was 3. The third one. Looks delicious. At this stage of the soup, you can decide to digress, you know, take some of, you can decide to, you know, use this 8 pounded yam or add a little bit of thickening to it and make another meal, but we'll stick to the afang we are making. You see the fluid is thick. It tells us that we are ready to add the water leaf. So at this point, I will add my periwinkle. Okay. Please, I need to wash my hands. And then I'll bring in my spinach. I will add the fish last. See how beautiful the soup looks already. At this point, I need more oil because we don't put lots of water in the soup, but we put plenty of oil. That will give the soup some bounce. Looks delicious already. You eat it like this with your rice or with your potato, but we want to make afang, so we're going to have to add the afang to it. This is what the afang looks like. I want the soup to still maintain the green color, look fresh. I'm adding the afang now. find a way in between the protein. All right. I'll need a little bit more oil and we're good to go. At this juncture, I can add my fish to it. So while our soup is simmering for a few more minutes, if you check carefully, I didn't cover the pot because I don't want the vegetables to overcook. I will boil water to make garri. I think our soup is ready. I still want it to look fresh. The Afang soup is ready. I'll keep it down. Put it on the other side that is not hot and boil the water. All right, so we're waiting for the water to boil for us to complete the meal, and we will serve those at home. So this is the white garri, and that's how it comes bagged. This is from Ghana, but most people in West Africa make garri. And for us in Nigeria, I think Nigeria is the highest producer of garri. I stand corrected, but over here in Michigan, this is what we have, backed by a company in Ghana. Because of how the garri is, it's better for the water not to be too hot. So I bring the water down. I allow it to cool a little before I start making. I prefer to make my garri in a pot so that I can turn it and make sure it's well cooked. So this is the dry one. I will first of all pour. Let's put it in the sink. Pour water. Now it's cooled a little. It's very hot, so it will not kick while you're making it. So as I'm pouring the garri, I'm stirring. So you stir it until it becomes homogeneous. I like to cook my own a little on the fire. Add some water at the base because I want it smooth. It will now come out like fufu. Just pour bits of water at the edge. That's warm water, by the way. Some people, that procedure is okay and they'll eat from there, but I think the garri digests faster and better for me if I put it again on fire and stir it. So as you can see, it's boiling for the second time around. So it's time to scoop the soup. Very rich soup. All the protein in the world you can think of. See my shrimps, my pomo, goat meat, shaki. And fish. Well, in a nutshell, we've been able to prepare Afang soup from the Calabar, the Efik tribe. The Akwa Ibomites also eat Afang soup, those from Akwa Ibom State. People generally in the south part of Nigeria, Rivers State, Akwa Ibom, Delta, Edo, Cross River State, eat Afang soup. But as I speak to you, Afang has become a global delicacy. People from all over the world have come to enjoy Afang soup. Until next time, when we next will be in my kitchen, we will take you through another food delicacy in another tribe. This is thank you from Nchiewe Ani. Bye for now.